What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Run It Up Podcast. I'm your host, Najee Adams. And you know, I got my guy with me today, Jalaal Sandy. How you doing, bro?
Chilling, bro. It's been a couple weeks. A lot has happened in those 2 weeks. We missed a lot in 2 weeks. Crazy.
Yeah, we did. My laptop ended up. My laptop stopped working.
Had to go through that. But they got you right. AppleCare got you right.
They did.
Concert was great. Rain and all. Concert turned out very well.
I forgot you had the Kendrick concert.
Yeah, no, that shit was fire, bro. Like SZA did her thing, Kendrick did his thing. No guests, no opener. Like Mustard came out, played songs for like 15 minutes, went back in his fucking tunnel. And then Kendrick came out like 10 minutes later. Maybe
What
5
song
minutes
got
later.
What song got the most pop? Not Like Us, I'm assuming.
Yeah, because it was one of the last ones. Luther. A lot of SZA's joints was going crazy too. Like people just know a lot of her music, and she has mad music. But Kendrick did Poetic Justice, and I don't think I've ever heard him do that live, so that was cool. I was like, is Drake gonna? Nah, he ain't coming.
No, maybe at the Charlotte show.
At the Charlotte show, hell no, never. But all in all, bro, like I don't know. You go see two great artists, you expect great performances. I wasn't disappointed at all. I was just hoping that the show happened because the rain was bussing.
Yeah, a lot happened in these last 2 weeks. We had the draft lottery, we had the NBA playoffs. You went to that concert, my laptop blew up, unblew up. We had our rookie draft in our dynasty league. It's a lot happened. So
shout out my boy Trevi.
Yeah, you got Trevi. Wait, did you get Trevi? Who? You didn't get Trevi.
Travis Hunter.
Oh, I thought you were saying Trevion Henderson.
No,
I'm a dumbass.
Yeah, I said Trevi.
Yeah. You did get Trevi.
I could have got Trevion, but I turned down the offer.
Yeah, he turned down the offer for Trevion.
Maybe I'm an idiot.
He did get Travis Hunter. Boom. I got Tyler Warren and Luther Burden. My guys. I don't give a fuck about
Tyler Warren in the second round. Bro. No, you got Tyler Warren in the second round, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, Tyler Warren should be good.
Come on, I know you want to do this.
I don't have any attachment to Tyler Warren. I really like Luther Burden as a prospect. So if he ends up being trash, I'd be hurt. But hopefully he's not. But hey, man,
you get this George Kittle for the Tyler Warren. Come get this George Kittle.
No, I'm okay. I'm good.
Somebody that's gonna give you 18 to 20 points a game every week.
I have Travis Kelce, and I have Don Kincaid, and I have Jatavion Sanders, and I have Tyler Warren. So I'm just hoping that one of them can be good. But yeah, before we get into everything, make sure you guys like, subscribe to Run It Up Podcast, everywhere that podcasts are found. Leave a 5-star rating and review. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on TikTok at the Run It Up Pod. Do all that good stuff that every other podcast asks you to do. Follow me on Twitter at Najee Adams _ It's a little right there. Jalaal at J7045. The other guys, Justin and Khalil, in the description down below. Everyone, we make sure you guys go follow us. I almost lost track of how to do an intro. And before we get into everything, we got to do Song of the Week. Today we're going to be talking about basically the Celtics, Jayson Tatum tearing his Achilles, what it means for them in their offseason and their future, what it means for the Cavs offseason to go out sorry in 5 to the Pacers. We're going to talk Knicks Pacers, talk Jalen Brunson, talk Tyrese Haliburton, OKC Denver, talk a little bit about the draft lottery, and then as we were recording, the NFL schedule release. So we'll talk about what we think about the Seahawks, we think about the Packers, any other games you want to skim through. But majority of this will be basketball, so I'll make sure you guys lock in. But Song of the Week. My Song of the Week is actually from the movie Sinners. It's called Sinners by Rod Wave. I just saw Sinners the first time last week. I think I saw it last Monday.
You finally saw it?
Damn. It's a damn good movie.
I think I'm gonna
go see, incredible movie.
I think I'm gonna go see Thunderbolts tomorrow. So I haven't seen
I
that
saw
yet,
Thunderbolts last Thursday. Yeah, I saw it last Thursday with my pops. He's quick on it. He's as soon as the tickets drop, he's getting them. So he got like the Regal AMC Plus shit. So he's locked in.
Oh yeah. I got the
Yeah.
AMC Gold. They gave me like a discount for my birthday when I went to see Sinners. I was like, hey, let's go.
Yeah.
2 tickets for $12, bro. I take that any day.
Yeah. No, I went to see Sinners. Me and Chris went. So it was nice. Had my own white woman in there watching the white women destroy black people. So that was great. Really, really loved it. It was incredible. We love some good cultural appropriation. It was beautiful. But overall, great movie. Loved the movie. At the end of it, if you stay to the very end, Rod Wave does make an appearance. And he doesn't make an appearance, but his song makes an appearance. It is a great song. It's called Sinners from Sinners. So go check it out. What's your song of the week,
bro? My song of the week, fairly new song, came out a couple weeks ago. It's called Egypt Remix by West Side Gun featuring Doechii. Even though she's been in crazy controversies from
the umbrella woman. The umbrella dictator.
But, exactly. But she can rap. So you make the show if you can rap. Dickhead, but can rap. Yes.
Yeah, good rapper. So go check out Songs of the Week in the description, just like every week. And we can dive on into it. I guess we'll start at Celtics Tatum. The Celtics lost no, they're currently playing right now.
They're playing right now, keeping it close.
What's the score?
It's on commercial. They're showing the Superman commercial.
The score is 69-67. They're currently winning, actually. So they haven't lost in anything yet, but I would assume that they're going to lose the series. If it's not tonight,
I don't know if they lose tonight, but they probably lose the next game, if not tonight.
Yeah, I would assume that the Celtics season will be done in the next 3 days. So this conversation will be under the assumption that the Celtics do not advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, if something insane happens and Jalen Brown turns into Michael Jordan and they beat the Knicks, then we can revisit this. But let's assume that the Celtics will lose to the Knicks and the Knicks will make the Eastern Conference Finals. Jayson Tatum, obviously, torn his Achilles, probably missing all of next season. And even when he comes back in 2020, that's the 2026, 2027 season, he'll be back.
2026, 27.
Yeah, I'm sure.
28.
Yeah, Jalen Brown will be 30. I'm sure that it'll take a little bit of time to get adjusted. So just give me your thoughts on the Celtics probably losing this series, what this means to them moving forward. What do you kind of think about the timeline? What should they do this summer? Just what are you feeling about the Celtics now, bro?
On our last podcast, I was very heavy on the fuck the Celtics because
we did a good Jayson Tatum. We gave him some hype.
We gave Jayson Tatum his flowers because he deserves them. He deserved them all regular season. Then he comes into the playoffs and starts shitting his pants. So we're like, damn, bro. Like, we just called you a top 10 player and you out here scoring 13 points on 20% shooting. Crazy.
Yeah.
But for the Celtics, I'll start with the Celtics first. I have never liked the way they played like these last 2 years, focusing on the three ball and being so heavily analytical on just if we take more threes than the other team and we already shoot better percentages than them, we're just gonna outshoot them. You got 5 guys in the starting lineup that all shoot pretty well, 35% and up most likely. You got Al Horford off the bench, Peyton Pritchard off the bench, Sam Hauser off the bench. Like, all those guys can shoot. The only person that can't shoot is Luke Cornett. And to me, I mean, it's shameless, but you can't argue with it when it works. So, but I also think the Celtics got fortunate in their path to the finals. Not to say that they wouldn't have won, but it was just a little bit easier to do it against the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals when the Pacers couldn't close games. I think Joe Mazzulla really needs to get in the lab and figure out like how he can best utilize some of these guys. Like, I don't want to see Drew Holiday settling for threes on a fast break. And granted, I don't think Drew Holiday is going to be there much longer. His contract's insane. He's got like 2 or 3 years left. He's getting paid over $30 million a year. Jaylen Brown, the $300 million man, has not played well at all these playoffs. Granted, he's dealing with a knee injury, but at the same time, like, brother, you are second fiddle in this franchise. Like you gotta step it up. The Jalen's in this playoffs, man, except for Brunson. He the only one carrying. Jalen Green, ass. Jalen Brown, ass. Like, bro, they got to step it up. And then Al Horford is pushing 40. Porzingis can't stay on the floor, and when he's on the floor, he's either playing hurt or playing sick.
He just looks like he doesn't know what the fuck to do out there.
Well, the problem is, like, he's not a complex player offensively. He can shoot and he can score from the high post. He's not posting anyone up though. He's gonna post you up and face up and shoot. He's not backing you down. He's not doing a drop step or getting an and one. That's not the type of play. He's a 7-foot shooter. It's skinny. He's soft, honestly. Like he doesn't have the same lift he had when he was on the Knicks or even when he was in Dallas. He's just not the same player. And if he's giving you 35 games a year and then in the playoffs, you can't even play him 30 minutes. That's a liability. So I think with you already know when Tatum's not going to play next year. I think they got to look at all options. Like, should they keep Jaylen Brown? Like, is Jaylen Brown really worth $300 million? And do you want to find out the harsh truth of that, or do you want to sell him while people still see his value? Drew Holiday, I think they can move off Drew Holiday if a team is looking for a veteran point guard, but I don't know who's being willing to pay Drew Holiday $32 million a year. Al Horford might retire, and I think, a lot of these guys are older. None of these guys are spring chickens. All the spring chickens don't play. They play in the G League for the Celtics. Yeah. So most of these guys you move, you're going to have to attach a pick to, which the Celtics have a little bit of draft capital, but if you're in like a retooling mode, moving picks is not the best idea, but who knows, bro? Like the East looks wide open as I can remember in probably since LeBron left.
Yeah. And bro, like just to look at the East, there's so much uncertainty, and like I'll give my Celtics take in a minute, but like if you look at the East, like I'm looking at the top 10 players in the league, I'm just looking at the Ringers ranked players, like
all of them are in the West.
Giannis is 3.
I don't want to cut you off, but I feel like you get into it, so I will let you talk. But if you don't say it, I'll bring it up.
Giannis is 3, and he's probably leaving the East. Tatum is 4. He's not playing next season, so we can cut him out. And then the next player in the East is Donovan Mitchell at 9 and Jalen Brunson at 10. And it's like, okay. After that, Cade, Haliburton, it's like that's really it.
Trae Young.
Yeah, like all of the top end talent is in the West.
But here's my thing, bro. The 2 best players in the East are either not gonna be in the East completely, or they just won't be available. Like Jayson Tatum obviously won't be available. But if Giannis leaves, like no Tatum, no Giannis for a whole year, and then I guess no Giannis for the foreseeable future if he gets traded to the West. That's crazy. Like now the best player in the East is who? Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson. One of those 2.
Joel Embiid,
and maybe no, we're not putting Joel Embiid in those
conversations. Paolo, boy. I said
maybe Paolo.
The best player in the East. Yeah.
No, you was being you was being.
Yeah, I didn't know this, my brother.
Yeah, we ain't know.
I didn't know this happened, but my
for
take,
Tatum, I do want to say just for Tatum before you go. I think also him and Mazzulla need to figure out how to make Tatum the type of player that can take advantage of his strengths. I am so tired. Jayson Tatum is one of the most talented players in the league. And I'm so tired of sitting there watching him settle for threes over and over. Brother, you are 6'9". You're 6'9". You're posting up Jalen Brunson and shooting fadeaways. Jalen Brunson is barely 6 feet tall. What are we doing? Like when Ime Udoka was in the league, was their coach. He gave Jayson Tatum some post touches. He made sure he wasn't just standing back at the 3-point line shooting step back. Like he mixed it up with him, made sure he gave up the ball. I would say the area where he's improved most is his playmaking, but his handle is still very shaky. So like for him to just be standing at the top of the key doing dribble, tween, step back, tween, and everybody knows it's coming. They had Mitchell Robinson looking like Hakeem Olajuwon the other night, bro. Because everybody knows what you're about to do. When it's hitting, it looks great. Like game 5, he was hitting. I think he made 6 or 7 threes. He had 42 points. Like he looked amazing. But when it's not hitting, like you got to go to something else. You got to have a counter to your counter. And I'll get to it. I'll get to that later when we talk about OKC and Denver. Because I feel like a lot of people watching today's NBA are like, guys are so talented and they can do this and that, and they're so efficient. And then they shit on guys like Kobe, who knew in tough situations how to just get a bucket, bro. Like everybody from that 2000s era that was an elite playoff performer just knew how to get a bucket in tough situations. I feel like this era doesn't know how to do that, or most people don't know how to do that.
Yeah. I think you make a great point. I think for the Celtics, I think like it just I have many takeaways. The first one being that like the championship window is just so short in the NBA nowadays. Like 2 months ago, we would think like the Celtics are en route to this possible 2-peat, maybe 3-peat dynasty kind of team, and
like
now
Warriors type.
And now
Warriors
like
type fair, bro. Like I was like, bro, who's beating the Celtics other than OKC? Who's beating the Celtics?
Who's beating them?
Realistic.
Yeah. And now like the next 2 seasons are chalked. Like in one play, just because Jalen Brown's dog shit handle it ruined the Celtics next 2 years. And so I look back at this and I think like the Celtics that Jayson Tatum returns to are going to be vastly different than the one that he left. And like, I wouldn't be shocked if their entire starting 5 is different. Like Drew Holiday probably will not be a Celtics next year. Kristaps probably will not be a Celtic next year. It makes no sense to make old Al Horford lace him up again in a year where you're not going to be contending. Go be a family man, brother. Go be a dad. Go be a husband. Maybe they go like, I don't know where Brad Stevens goes with it. Like maybe they go and they trade for KD and they tout out KD, Jalen Brown, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard lineup, and they like try and go for it in an East that might be as weak as it's ever been. And they think, yo, we'll sit Tatum for a year and we'll go for it with KD. I just don't think that I don't think KD's currently better than Jayson Tatum. I don't think that he can do everything that Tatum can do on the floor.
I think it's close.
And I think if the Tatum Celtics weren't good enough to win the East, then the KD Celtics aren't good enough to win the East. Is how I personally feel.
Here's the difference between. I mean, I just brought it up, but here's for me the difference between KD and Tatum in the playoffs. KD gonna get his 25, bro. Like and it's gonna be efficient most nights. He had that one series against the Celtics, ironically, when he was on the Nets, and they were just in a box. Him and Kyrie just couldn't do a damn thing. And they were looking at Blake Griffin like, bro, help us out. He couldn't do shit either.
Yeah.
Like Harden was out and they didn't really have anybody else. Bruce Brown sitting in the corner bricking threes. It was nasty. But KD is one of those guys, like he's of that ilk of guys that when going gets tough, bro, you just need somebody to get you against tough defenders. Like I think about obviously LeBron, you think about Steph, KD, and then you think about the guys they played with coming up. Melo, D-Wade, Kobe, I mean, I was about to say Dwight Howard, but I guess he couldn't do much, but he was dunking on everybody.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
or like I think about like T-Mac. Like T-Mac, he didn't do much in the playoffs, but bro, like you go to the playoffs and like the Lakers, for example, you play the Spurs. Bruce Bowen is on your ass for 48 minutes straight, bro. Mm-hmm. And I'm watching Jayson Tatum shoot step backs over Jalen Brunson. And I'm like, brother, the game can be so easy for the Celtics. And I feel like the 3-point thing has made it so hard. So in a sense, like a part of me is glad that they're actually losing, because if the Celtics were to win 2 straight championships doing this bullshit, bro, everybody would be like, wait. We need everybody to shoot. We need to find a stretch 5. Niggas will be throwing $40 million at Brook Lopez next year. He's about to turn 40. We need a stretch 5. We need a point guard that can 3 and D, and we need 2 wings that can that are 3 and D and can get a bucket when we need them to most of the time. But hey, man, shout out to the Knicks. Maybe they'll save basketball.
Maybe they will. I think my point with I think not to shoot Tatum bail, but like I think he plays like that partly because that's the system that he's being asked to play in. So like if you bring KD in
I agree.
and Joe Mazzulla is telling him like, yo, bro, on the fast break, shoot that three. I think like we'll see a lot more of the same play style. I also think what you might gain in playoff scoring with KD, you lose in rebounding, you lose in playmaking, and you lose in defense at this version of his career.
Rebounding?
And so I think Tatum's a damn good rebounder.
I'll give you playmaking. But I think KD can rebound. He's been playing power forward for the last 3 years.
I don't think he's as good a rebounder as Tatum, and I don't think he's as good a defender. And so, regardless, I don't think the Celtics go trade for KD. But I'm saying if they do, I don't think that they're going to win anything that they couldn't win now. Like, I don't think a KD-led Celtics is going to make them win the East. So, I think Jaylen Brown makes $53 million next year. By the time Jayson Tatum plays basketball again, Jaylen Brown will be 30 years old. I'm not saying
Won't he be making about $60 million too?
Who, Jayson Tatum?
Like by the time, Jaylen Brown.
Oh,
like,
I think he makes like
his numbers go
something crazy. I think he makes like.
So he'll be 30 years old, making about $60 million.
I'll tell you
and
right
Jayson
now,
Tatum will be coming fresh off of Achilles at 28, which is cool. Like I think Tatum will be fine, like long term, especially after seeing KD come back from an Achilles injury and and in some instances being a little bit better than he was when he was.
Yeah, KD's done it. Clay tore his ACL and his Achilles, and he played.
Not
that he does the same things, but like he's a functional basketball player again. Yeah. Like I think I think he'll be fine. Jaylen Brown next season makes 53, and the next season after that he makes 57. So he'll be making $57 million by the time Tatum comes back. I'm not saying Brad Stevens does it. I'm not. I don't know that he will.
I don't think the Celtics have ever been, as a front office, I don't think they've ever made desperate moves. That's one thing I'll give Brad Stevens. They've never been a team and rooting for a team that screams desperation. They've never made the move where it's like, oh, they're trying to go like it's all in, but it's like protecting our assets to keep us safe for the future, just in case something like, I don't know, Jayson Tatum rupturing his Achilles happens. Like you gotta have a backup plan. And honestly, bro, if they do trade Jaylen Brown, they can get a nice little package back. Like Jaylen Brown is a top 25, 30 player in the league still, regardless of all of his flaws. He's at worst a top 30 player in the league.
No, I think like I'm not saying Brad Stevens trades Jaylen Brown, but I'm saying that they definitely, I wouldn't be shocked if they play with the idea of it. Like there's a lot of teams that could use Jaylen Brown. He's a good player. He's a good plug-and-play guy who can fit in a lot of contenders. And so the
first team I thought about was the Pistons, but I'm like,
I think the Pistons.
If he goes to the Pistons, does he think he's the number one guy? That's the only issue I have.
I don't give a damn what he think. You're gonna sit in this corner and play some defense, and when K give you the ball, attack, buddy.
I don't know, man. Jaylen Brown been in the league for a minute. He's 4 or 5-time All-Star.
Finals MVP.
Finals MVP. I'm saying Eastern Conference MVP. Like, bro, he has the credentials to be like, hey, I might be the best player on this team, and he's getting paid the most money on the team.
No, I'm just saying, like, if I wouldn't be shocked, like if Brad Stevens decided, let's take a year and just blow it up. Like, I think they have their 26 first-round pick. So, like, whatever pick they have next year is a pick that they'll be. Mm-hmm. If they're bad, they'll have a good pick. So, like, what if the Charlotte Hornets decide, we want to contend. We see a weak East. We have LaMelo Ball. We have Brandon Miller. We want Jaylen Brown. And they come and they offer the Celtics the 4th pick in the draft, Miles Bridges, whatever. And the Celtics, I think he considers it. I don't think he does it, but I think he considers it. What if the Jazz and Danny Ainge come knocking? They offer them the 5th pick in the draft, and they try and make the salaries work.
What pick do the Rockets have?
The Rockets have the 10th pick in the draft. They have the 10th overall pick.
I don't know if Jaylen Brown worth 10th pick, but I mean, Rockets would be a good fit, especially if the Rockets are trying to get off of Jalen Green. Getting Jaylen Brown, honestly, would be a seamless fit because he plays way better defense than Jalen Green. And he's not as
up and down,
crash out worthy on the court.
And I just think like the Nets and the Raptors are always, we might get Giannis. We might get Giannis. If
I don't
one
know
of
what
them
the
is
Raptors
like,
are doing.
I don't know why either team wants Giannis, but like if one of them is like, yo, let me see what Jalen Brown is worth. I think that what if the Hawks finally decide, yo, let's get Trae Young a real second
Trae Young, a star next to him.
Like I think there's a lot of teams specifically in the East that are going to look at the deficit of talent and be like, yo, let's go for it. Let's try. Like, are we?
You know
they're
who's
going to
actually going to do that? Miami.
Miami, yeah.
They're going to do that, bro.
Absolutely. I think a lot of these teams are going to look at the Pacers and be like, yo, are we that far off? And try and make a move. I do.
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to be shocked if they move Jalen Brown.
Yeah. This is kind of move us into the next teams we'll talk about. Well, do you want to talk about the Knicks real quick before we move on to the Cavs? Because the Cavs are out of here. Like, they're done.
I want to talk about
I think their offseason moves could be interesting.
Yeah, I before we dive to that next series, the last thing I want to say is that like if this does anything, like Tatum obviously tore his Achilles, that sucks. He's gonna miss a year, 27, peak of his powers. It's tough, very tough. Achilles injury sucks. If this does anything for him, if there is any silver lining, I think it's that like people will finally get to see how much the Celtics need Jayson Tatum and how much he contributed to their success. Because right now it's, he's the front runner. The Celtics would be good even without Jayson Tatum. We have never seen what the Celtics look like without Jayson Tatum. Since he got drafted in 2017, no player has played more minutes in the entire NBA. Since 2017, he has played 706 games, 22 more than the next closest player. We have never seen what this Celtics team really looks like without Jayson Tatum. And I would bet my money that it doesn't look good.
I mean, right now they look all right. They have 14, but yeah, long term it'll look terrible. I think they've been in the playoffs since 2017. So from 2017 to 2025, they've been, I think they lost in the first round maybe one time. Other than that, it's been second round minimum. And most of these runs have been either Eastern Conference Finals runs or NBA Finals runs. So, like, they've been, him and Jalen Brown, really, because Jalen Brown's been there the whole time as well. Just grinding it out. Shit, Al Horford been there too. The big three. And I feel like I'll give Tatum his flowers for always being available. Like, we give Kawhi flack for not being available. We give Joel Embiid flack for not being available. We give Jimmy Butler flack, Anthony Davis, like a lot of these guys who are super talented and at the peak of their powers, they are superstars. We got a guy like Jayson Tatum who's available whenever you need him, and it just so happens he had a very unlucky injury. Like you plant to run and you tear your Achilles. That is unpredictable as hell, and you can never see it coming.
I just think that we're going to get to see, and the people are going to get to see, like, damn, Jayson Tatum is way more important to this team than we gave him credit for, because, like, there's a reason that Jayson Tatum goes down, and we talk about Celtics should blow it up for next year. If the shoe's on the other foot and Jalen Brown was the one that's out for next season, we're not saying the Celtics should blow it up, because they still have a top 10 player in the world. That's not the case anymore. And so that's my last thing about the Celtics and Jayson Tatum. We could definitely dive into the Cavs, what they do. They got smoked in 5 after winning 64 games. So what do you think about what the Cavs do this offseason? I have thoughts, but I would love to know yours.
I'll be fair. So the first two, I feel like this series was just very unlucky for them. The first 2 games, they're playing behind the 8 ball. They don't have the starting point guard. Mobley didn't play in game 1. Garland didn't play the first 2 games. They come out game 3 and set a tone, and they look great in game 3. And then game 4, they get absolutely shellacked. And you realize Darius Garland actually is not healthy. He's limping around. Game 5, same thing. Darius Garland, shell of himself. Max Strus, absolute dog shit. I think he was 0 for 9. The real issue is Jared Allen. Jared Allen is supposed to be their anchor, one of their anchors, rim protector, a nice paint presence, and a lot of the times he just flat out disappears. And if your point guard's not healthy and your point guard thrives off of facilitating for others and creating for himself in a way where he's undersized, so he needs the space and the consistency from everybody else in order to get his buckets and get everybody in rhythm. He's one of those guys where like I'm talking about Garland. He doesn't necessarily need buckets to get his rhythm. It's kind of like Chris Paul, like to where like if I set up guys, like I'll be straight, I'll find my shot. To me, like they gotta get more. They gotta get a small forward, bro. You're not going to win anything if Max Strus is your starting small forward. I'm sorry, because Darius Garland is 6'1". Donovan Mitchell is 6'2". Regardless of how he may play, he plays bigger than he looks. He plays like he's 6'6". He's really 6'2". And people compare him to D Wade. He's shorter than D Wade. And then Max Strus at the 3, Mobley at the 4, Jared Allen at the 5. I feel like going into the offseason, I'm making calls like, hey, everybody but Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley are available. Like Garland is expendable. Jared Allen is expendable. We got to make some moves because we did all of this. We made history in our franchise in terms of like regular season efficiency, defense, and offense. And just to shit the bed in the second round, partially because you got guys who you can't rely on due to health or consistency or whatever the case may be. And partially just because, honestly, they just got exposed. Like, Ty Jerome was talking all that shit when they were beating up on the 10 seed. I went to correct 10 seed Miami Heat. The niggas were the 10 seed. And Darius Garland was talking hot when he was cooking Tyler Hero. And it's like, bro, okay, now you gotta go up against Haliburton, who's going to match you and then talk shit right back. Siakam give you 20 a game, 15 to 20 a game. They've got so many guys that scored 10 points. Like, their rotation is about 8, 9 deep, the Pacers, and they have at least 7 guys that could get you 10 points a night. That's crazy to me. And then you got guys like Nembhard and Nesmith and Mathurin who can randomly go off for 20, 25. And if Haliburton's hot, that's 25 from him. If Siakam's hot, that's 25 from him. Miles Turner looked really good all series. He gave Jared Allen hell. So, like, it's time to look in the mirror and be like, okay, Jared Allen's not working. The lights actually are too bright. Evan Mobley is fantastic. Donovan Mitchell is fantastic. He put us on his back. He was limping around on one leg last night. And truth be told, this is I want to say third time that the Cavs have been in the playoffs where Darius Garland has basically been a no-show, bro. Like, regardless of the reason and being fair to him, like, at some point when you get to the playoffs, you just have to be reliable. Like, guys got to look to you and say, hey, we need you. And you sitting over there, like, I look at the Nuggets and we talk about how Jamal Murray's so inconsistent. But when they need him, bro, he's there. Like, except for last night. But most of the time, he can give you a 30-point game. Like, you really, really need it. Jokic is off, or, MPJ playing with one arm, literally. Like, they just need more guys that have the, I guess, play style to be more consistent when it comes to this time of year. Because Donovan Mitchell cannot do this by himself. We've seen it his entire career. He's never made it out of the second round. So, regardless of how good the team is overall, I do think they need to maybe get more wing help. Jaylen Brown, Donovan Mitchell, wing duo, maybe? Trade Garland to the Celtics. It's not the first time the Celtics and Cavs have made a big trade for including a point guard. But I don't think the Celtics would do that.
No, I don't think they would either. I think,
but I mean,
for me,
hey, you never know, bro. Like, teams have certain visions of their roster than us as fans do, and you never know what they might be thinking. Like, I do think the Celtics need a point guard that can take pressure off of Brown and Tatum. But if you don't think Brown's going to be there in 2 years, why would you keep him around anyway?
Yeah, I think for the Cavs, I really don't, if I'm being honest, like, I don't see a ton of things they can do to get better this offseason. Like, everyone talks about trading Jared Allen. Sure, you trade Jared Allen, but like, what are you getting back that's making you a better team than he does? Like, I like that, because then then you do like I think that they thrive off the two bigs. So you end up then you're changing the entire way that you're playing basketball now, right? You trade Jared Allen, you're probably not getting a big back as good as him. So like you're now changing your entire system on offense and defense. And so I don't necessarily know that trading Jared Allen is the answer. I think, to be totally honest, they ran into a lot of unfortunate shit. Like I think they just had a very tough go of it. Darius Garland gets hurt, Evan Mobley gets hurt, Donovan Mitchell gets hurt, DeAndre Hunter gets hurt. Like I think that's why winning a title is so hard, because like you so much shit has to go right. And so like it just didn't for them. And like I don't think that we should discount their season and be like, oh, let's go blow it up. Like they won 64 games.
The problem is like people all season have doubted them because of their history in the playoffs. So like them winning 64 games actually did nothing for them, because they had to prove it again in the playoffs. And that's the sad part. Like they had a great season, they did great things, but all in like it amounted literally to nothing. You lost to the Pacers.
But like that's the case for every team but one. Like that's the case for 29 other teams. Like every team has a good, like if you make the play, if the Pacers they had a great season, they get packed by the Thunder, it doesn't fucking matter. So like I think
it does though, because if the Pacers were to make the finals, right, you could look at the Pacers and be like, oh, they need a star. Like they need a real alpha. I don't think Tyrese Haliburton is alpha. I don't think Siakam is either. I just think they have a lot of good ass basketball players on their team from 1 to 10 that they can just throw in there. When you look at the Cavs, like they built that roster to go win a chip. Granted, I don't think they thought it would be this season, but eventually they thought they would be here where they're winning 60 games a year. And their expectation was probably conference finals or bust.
Yeah.
And a lot of teams were building their teams to beat Boston. Like a lot of teams, like look at the Knicks team, bro. They have 3 wings, and Cat and Brunson. Like they gave OG Anunoby a max so he could guard Jayson Tatum. They traded 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges so he could guard Jalen Brown, and they still have Josh Hart. Like their team is built to beat the Celtics. That's what every team in the East was doing, whether it worked or not. That's what the goal was.
And I get that. I just think that like specifically nowadays, if you don't win the chip, it's like, all right, let's blow it up. Like it took the Celtics. The Celtics got Tatum and Brown in 2017 and they didn't win till 2024. Like it takes some time. You feel me? Like it just because the Cavs had a 64 win season and then they got packed, like that doesn't mean that we should go blow it up. Like I think you can do something. You can make tweaks here and there. Like this was a good team. They were 34-7 at home, 28-11 versus teams with 500 records and above. Like this isn't a bad basketball team. I think it's an unlucky one. Like if the Cavs stay healthy, we redo that series and you tell me the Cavs are completely healthy all series. Like there's a reason people were picking them to beat the Pacers. Like I just think that they ran into the injury bug and that sucks. But I don't know that like going into next year, I say run it back damn near. Like you may obviously make tweaks here and there. I'm not saying run the same exact roster, but like Ty Jerome's probably gone. Max Strus might be gone, whatever it may be. Like make some tweaks. But like the core, I think they can make it work. Like going into next year, Celtics are going to be without Tatum. Maybe Brown. I don't know. But definitely without Tatum. The Bucks probably going to be without Giannis. That leaves the Cavs, the Knicks, and the Pacers as the 3 most likely contenders in the East. And if I'm the Cavs, even with how this season went, I like my chances. Like I do. If I run it back fully healthy and it's me, Pacers, Knicks, I'm not shaking in my boots. I'm not. So I think that there's tweaks to be made, but like I don't know that the Cavs should go and be like, yeah, it's Jared Allen, get the fuck out of here. Hey, Darius Garland, you're gone. Like I think that we can make a little bit of tweaks here and there and still get back to where we need to be. But if they did trade Jared Allen, I wouldn't be shocked. Like I understand.
I don't think they trade Garland for real. I do think they look at options for Jared Allen because I think Jared Allen just doesn't. His play style just doesn't fit the playoffs. Like
I think if they're big 4, he's easily the most expendable.
Yeah, for sure.
like
I don't think they trade Garland's 24 years old. Like they're not gonna trade Garland unless they're getting a haul back for him, and they're trying to compete next year still. So I think like going into next season, they can believe that they'd be the best team in the East going into next season, whether they have Jared Allen or not.
Yeah. Moving to the other team, I guess we could talk Knicks, Pacers, whatever you want to talk. I think for me, I want to start it with the Knicks. Like Jalen Brunson, I'll be honest, I severely underrate Jalen Brunson every year. I do. I said that Cade Cunningham would be the best player in the series. He was not. I can eat that. I think Jalen Brunson is legitimately probably one of the 10 best basketball players on the planet. I gotta give it to him. Like I don't know that him continuously doing this for what 3 years now in the playoffs. Like even when he was on the Mavs, I remember like Luka missed those games. I can't remember who they were playing.
Yeah,
he was going for like
they played
35, 40. Like,
yeah, they played the Jazz and Luka got hurt, and he missed. I think he missed the first 2 games. And yeah, Jalen Brunson had like 30, 35.
Like he just the playoffs come around. He does this every year, and so for me, I think like a lot of like recency bias strikes the NBA unlike any sport ever. So like people are quick to be like, yeah, Jalen Brunson, he's better than Luka. I'm not going that far. I don't think that's remotely close to being true. But like I do think that Jalen Brunson is a top 10 basketball player on the planet. And so I want to ask you, because we do this all the time for the TikTok. Not like to build your franchise, just like player for player, who is like, better at this current
talent
moment?
For talent.
Yes, talent for talent, player for player. Jalen Brunson versus these players. Who are you taking? Jalen Brunson, Luka Doncic.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I would take Luka. But I think it's a conversation because Luka not being in shape and not being healthy is an ass basketball.
Don't let a game enough.
Yeah, like bro, Jalen Brunson be locked in, bro. Like, and to be an undersized guard and to drop 25 to 30 a night when sometimes the rest of your team just don't show up. Like the Knicks win games where they score 90, 95 points in a game. And Jalen Brunson has 30 to 35 of those points.
Mm-hmm.
As a 6-foot guard, bro, that is Allen Iverson level type production. Like that is crazy to me, bro. So I'll say Luka, but bro, Brunson is like that, bro. So most of the names on this list, I might say Brunson. I'm just giving you a fair warning.
Luka over Brunson. Brunson versus Steph Curry. Who you take?
At this current moment, I would slightly take Steph, but it's very, very close, bro.
Okay,
it's very close.
Brunson or Anthony Edwards?
Oh. I take Brunson. Brunson's more consistent game to game.
Okay. Brunson or LeBron James?
While we're having this conversation, most fourth quarter points through 10 playoff games in the last 30 seasons. Number 1, Jalen Brunson. Number 2, Kobe Bryant. Like, bro, he at this current moment in time, bro, he is locked in. He's in the conversation for best point guard in the league for real. Like, it's not like undisputedly Luka, it's not undisputedly Steph. Like Brunson can gladly be in that conversation, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think anybody really saw the Knicks beating Celtics if they do pull it out next game, because I don't look like they win in this game. They're down 22. But like say they win the next game. Like the Celtics just hitting mad threes, bro. They hit like 20.
Hey, that's their bag.
Who was the next person you said? LeBron?
I said Jalen Brunson or LeBron James.
LeBron.
Okay. Jalen Brunson or Donovan Mitchell?
Brunson.
Jalen Brunson or Kevin Durant?
Brunson.
Jalen Brunson.
Here's the thing, bro. Like, disclaimer, put this at the beginning of TikTok. If Jalen Brunson wins a championship, bro, I might put him over everybody you just named. Okay. If the Knicks were to go to the chip and beat either Minnesota, Denver, OKC, with this Knicks roster with not a lot of depth and Brunson just not carrying them, but having a heavy workload, I would maybe say he's the best point guard in the league at this very moment in time.
Okay. 3 more for you. Jalen Brunson or Anthony Davis?
Brunson.
Jalen Brunson or Cade Cunningham?
Brunson.
Jalen Brunson or Devin Booker?
Yeah. Brunson. Yeah.
And lastly, just because it's topical, Jalen Brunson or Tyrese Haliburton?
Brunson.
Boom. So he's a top 10 player in the world.
Here's something, and here's why I say what I'm saying, bro. Like I've been a proponent of small guards, it's so hard to be the best player on your team as a small guard and go far. Like all the teams that we see win championships either have a big guard, an elite small guard, a big guard, or a big wing, or a big. Like throughout NBA history, the only guys I can think of that are not in that big guard category or elite wing or elite big, Steph Curry, Allen Iverson for 1 year when they went to the finals. I will throw D Wade in there because he is 6'3". And then after that, bro, like I'm thinking, and you can fill in if you want, but I'm thinking at least since 1991, bro. The Bulls won 3. Michael Jordan.
Who have you said? What is the criteria here? What did you say?
So I said that like small guard, it's very hard for small guards to lead teams to a championship. And the only 3 that have even gotten to the finals since 1990, I'm going back to 1990, 1991. And I can even go back to, if you want to go back to like 85, bro. So we'll say Isaiah Thomas, Steph Curry, Allen Iverson, Dwayne Wade, all guys that are under 6'4" or 6'4" and under. And then if you think about all the other teams that have won championships throughout history, I'm thinking about the Bulls with Michael Jordan. I'm thinking about the Lakers with Magic, the Celtics with Bird, the Lakers with Kobe and Shaq, with Kobe by themselves, the Spurs with Duncan, the Cavs with Braun, the Heat with Braun. Like, it's hard to be a point guard that's undersized and get to a chip. It's very difficult.
I mean that's the only ones I can think of. So that puts Brunson in rare air if they do make the finals.
It's very rare, bro. So like if you see where I'm coming from, 6'5". So he just like goes over the threshold.
Yeah, he's 6'5". Because one of them is making it.
Yeah. But like, it's very impressive to me. Like I give so much respect to small guards, especially like knowing like small guards don't get all the calls. They get their ankles stepped on when they shoot jump shots. They're getting knocked around in the paint, like battered and bruised all playoffs. And depending on what team you playing, it's either getting called or it's not.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, listen, yeah, Jalen Brunson, if they win a championship or if they like go toe to toe with the Thunder, bro, if we Knicks championship would be nuts, bro. We've never seen anything close to that.
What?
And we're not even Knicks fans. Wait, are we considering Shea a point guard?
Yeah,
yes.
I guess
He plays point guard for them.
He plays the one.
So the only person I probably wouldn't put him over is Shea, but I mean, if he beats Shea against the team that done won 66 games, like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
As I say that, this man just rolled his ankle.
Oh, and that
blood clot.
Oh yeah, nah, he'll be fine. Come on, they'll win in 6. They're not winning in 5.
It's the same ankle, bro.
Shout out to the Celtics for putting up a fight. If they push it 7,
yeah, shout out. They push a 7. That's house money.
Hey,
ain't no pressure on them to win. Jaylen Brown for 40.
Yeah. Did you have any takeaways as a whole on the Knicks so far? Or did you want to talk Pacers?
I would like to apologize to Tom Thibodeau for doubting his coaching abilities. And I will say, in the past, you have proven me right, brother. But this series, I am very impressed by their strategy to just keep things close. If you keep it close with the Celtics, they are not the most efficient team in crunch time. Shout out to Mikal Bridges for being absolutely amazing every fourth quarter the Knicks play. Mid-range demon. Yeah. Shout out to Cat for having great games. Mitchell Robinson, they try to do Hacker Mitch. It don't matter. He's been playing great defense this whole series. He's guarded Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum. I seen him on Drew Holiday, Derek White a couple times. And for a guy that came into the league and wasn't really like nimble on his feet as a 7-foot big usually is, he's improved a lot since he came into the league. We always know him to be a rim protector, lob threat, but for him to step out and put pressure on Tatum, and I mean, his ball pressure in game 2 was the reason that Mikal Bridges was able to make a play on the ball. Yeah. Like Tatum lost his handle because of that. Yeah, man. I think, I mean, they've had a great game plan of just making things tough. And honestly, it's you're not gonna make every three you put up, bro. No matter how good of a shooter you are, you could leave Steph Curry open 100 times. He's probably gonna make about 45 at 100 shots he takes, and that's just natural. Like it's not even.
Yeah.
It's just the thing. Like you're not gonna make every three you put up, whether it's open or not, and that's why I'm saying like the Celtics just gotta be more open to just being a more diverse offense. Like I look at the Thunder and they are exactly what I'm talking about. Like the Thunder obviously can shoot, but when shit breaks down and they're not hitting, lob to Chet, Shea, Midi, break it down. Like I just want to see more from the Celtics. They have so much more to offer than that. But yeah, shout out to the Knicks, bro. I don't think anybody really saw them beating the Celtics. They prove everybody wrong, and honestly, I'm enjoying every minute of it. My dad's been texting me like, "Yo, what time's the game today?" Like, my dad don't even watch basketball, bro. My dad don't watch basketball. He texted me yesterday like, "Who were these niggas?" I'm like, "Bro, these are the Knicks."
My dad texts me after every game. He's like, "Yo," he sends me like one word sentences like Knicks got this one or like Knicks won the game. Like, it's the best thing. Yeah, it's the best thing ever. But yeah, shout out to
non-Knicks fans from New York. How do you feel about like the Knicks potentially making the finals?
If it ain't the Lakers,
I think it's fire, bro.
I'm cool with it. Like if it's not against us, I don't care. Like it'd be great to see the Knicks go and win a title parade in New York. It's a parade inside my city yet. Like I want to see. Like that would be cool to see. Like MSG going crazy, like living here and seeing that would be cool. So I'm cool with the Knicks winning the chip. It don't do nothing for me. It don't kill none of my agendas. It don't. Bron's still the GOAT. Lakers still got 17 chips. Like it don't do nothing bad for me. So I'm cool.
I think it would be fire, bro. Just to see the city. When's the last time we're not counting hockey, brother. Like the last time they won a championship was the Giants.
I guess when's the last time the Yankees won?
2009, bro.
Shit, they was just in the World Series too. Got that ass bust, yeah.
So got the ass whooped by the Jap.
I guess. I guess it was the Giants. When did they win? 2008, something like that.
2011.
2011, yeah.
2011, 2012. The Rangers won like recently, but bro, I don't watch hockey, so that don't. And the parade wasn't even that crazy, bro. If the Knicks win a championship, the city is shutting down. There will be no violence in the city. If the Knicks win, bro, there's gonna be no violence in the city for like a week, bro.
I would just pop out. I don't give a fuck about the Knicks, but I would pop out just to see like the vibes. Like I just want to know what New York is like off the title. Like that's crazy. But yeah, shout out to the Knicks. No Knicks hate on this pod. We cool with the Knicks.
We cool with the Knicks, man. I never hated the
Knicks. Yeah.
I'll acknowledge when they ask.
Yeah.
Be cool when they nice.
I'm cool. Moving on to the Pacers. Shout out to the Pacers. 2 straight Eastern Conference Finals. Tyrese Haliburton went from obviously the most overrated player off that stupid little player poll to now I think he's in a different tier of conversations. I think his feel for the game has been incredible in the playoffs. Like I don't know that anyone had the Pacers making the Eastern Conference Finals again. Like I think a lot of people thought, oh yeah, it's like that Hawks Conference Finals run with Trae Young. Like I think a lot of people kind of chalked it up to that. And he's just been incredible, to be honest. He's averaging in the playoffs 18. No, that was last year. He's averaging 17.5, 9.3, and 5.5 on 47, 34, 79 splits. Like not super efficient, but like only 21 total turnovers throughout the entire playoffs, and he's a plus 84. Like he's just been really good when he's on the court. The Pacers are playing really good basketball. And what I was saying about like him going into a different tier, like I think he's kind of elevated into like a different level of conversation now. Like before, I think he was in like the Ja Morant, Trae Young, Darius Garland, De'Aaron Fox convos. And now I think he's kind of elevated. Yeah, like I think he's kind of elevated more into like the Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, Cade Cunningham conversations. And so I think that is a decent little tier jump. And so
what's crazy? I don't know if I think he's probably above that lower tier, but I don't like he might just be in his own tier.
Oh,
by himself, like in between the two, like sandwiched in between the two. Because honest, like I don't think he's a better player than Donovan Mitchell. I don't think he's a better player than Devin Booker. Like he's a weird player. And when he went to the Pacers, or when he was on the Kings, actually, I compared him to like a Chris Paul light, like the way he plays. Like and light, I mean like he's just great at facilitating, but he doesn't really have the flashy handle. His handle is tight, but it's not going to jump off the screen. He doesn't really turn the ball over. But there are times where he just can't get a bucket. Like he goes games where he scores like 4 or 6 points and he'll have like 8 assists. And it was a note like game 3. It felt like he didn't even play. He had 4 points. I think maybe 6 assists. But for me, like the Pacers, like I said earlier, they're just a team of guys that just all know how to play well together. They have a great coach. People forget Rick Carlisle is an NBA champion from 2011 and took a band of misfit players. Like it was Dirk Nowitzki and a bunch of great defensive players and a couple guys that could get a bucket. Like if Tyrese Haliburton can go the rest of the series, the rest of the playoffs averaging 17 and 8, and then you have Siakam giving you 15 points. Miles Turner, who I think is the X factor for this team, 10 games, 16 points, 6 rebounds, 50, 45, 80 shooting splits, 64% true shooting percentage. Like if your center shooting 45% from 3, bro, you can't really argue with that. And his rim protection has been elite. Can't argue with that, man. Like they played really well. They proved a lot of people wrong. You cannot argue with 2 straight conference finals, regardless of how it comes. Like this is the same argument I made for Miami when they used to make the conference finals. I'm like, bro, you don't just luck into making the conference finals 2-3 straight years in a row. Like some formula is working, and whether it's just Tyrese Haliburton being the guy that is the engine of your team, whether it's the pace of play that they play at, where they just tire teams out. They run. Like Usain Bolt run. They don't stop, bro. Non-stop rebound gone. And then, they have great coaching. I think people don't overlook that part of it. And the coaching part of it is probably the most important part. You put your players in the right spots to be the most successful. You got guys like Aaron Nesmith and Ben Mathurin who just, whether they switch in the starting lineup, sometimes one starts, sometimes the other starts. But when they come in and sometimes they need a spark, Ben Mathurin could get you a quick 10. And now all of a sudden, Pacers are down 5. Guess who's coming back in the game? Siakam, Haliburton. Now you might be cooked because if everybody start hitting threes, it's wraps, bro. Yeah. Like they're a very, very solid team. I just think when you look at them and you're like, they don't have a star. They have 2 all-stars. They don't have a superstar. It kind of feels like how people looked at the Raptors after they lost Kawhi a little bit. Like the Heat when people didn't really know who Jimmy was. Like when Jimmy wasn't doing playoff Jimmy nonsense, insane level things. Like this is one of those type of teams. Do I think they can win a championship? I don't know. I do think they really need a superstar.
The thing I was going to ask you, like, if we assume Knicks win and it's Knicks Pacers, like, who would you take in the series? Because I really do go back and forth. Like, I think I take the Knicks because I think they're the better team. I think they have the best player. I think they have the best player and are just the more. I don't know if they're. I won't say they're the more well-rounded team because I think the Pacers have a higher quantity of good players. I just think like the Knicks have the 4 of the 5 best players in the series, and like that doesn't always matter. But like when you've now beat the Celtics and you are, I think obviously Brunson. I think Cat is better than Pascal Siakam. I think Cat might be. I won't say Cat's better than Haliburton, but I think Cat is better than Pascal Siakam. I think Mikal.
But is Mikal better than Siakam?
I think it's. I
don't think so.
I think it's close. I think it's close. Okay, cool. Then Mikal's the 4th best player, and then it goes from there, like Josh Hart and all of them. But OG is better than Miles Turner.
OG or Miles Turner?
I think
they're both playing really well.
They're both but like I think it's a toss-up. And then I think after that, the Pacers dominate. If we list off the top 10 players, I think the Pacers have like 6 of them. So
here's the thing, bro. Like we sit here and be like, the Knicks have like 3 to 5 best players, this, and that. And then the really series will start. And it doesn't matter, bro. This is the argument that I've been trying to make. The days of carrying your team, it is not really happening anymore, bro. It can't. The league is too talented. Everybody can give you at least 10 at any random time. Like, and the Knicks, to me, if they stay healthy, yeah, like they are quite literally one wrong ankle tweak, one hyperextension, like high ankle sprain away from looking like ass. Like, if their whole train is all right, our starting five is the powerhouse of our team, and we got two guys off the bench, Mitchell Robinson and sometimes Deuce McBride. You might get 5 minutes from Precious Achiuwa if they start hacking Mitch. Other than that, bro, like if OG goes down, who's starting?
Great
Precious
question.
Achiuwa starting?
That's a great question. I don't know. I think
Ariel Horuporti?
Yeah, Ariel Horuporti, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I that's why I'm torn. Like, I really truly don't know who I'd pick in a series between the Knicks and the Pacers. If I had to choose one, my gut is telling me the Pacers, but like my mind tells me to pick the Knicks. So I'd probably pick the Knicks in a great series. Do you know
that
who
series
would
go
yet?
7? That series would go 7 to me. I think like I'm looking at like individual matchups. I'm like, bro, that's tough because like you don't always know what you're getting from Haliburton. Like, I know what I'm getting from Brunson, but then you don't always know what you're gonna get from Cat. If Miles Turner's giving him trouble, like it's iffy.
Also a stretch big, like
both stretch big, and Miles Turner could cook up, bro. Like if he gets hot, he can hit 5-6 threes. They have the wings, maybe not to match up with the Knicks, but just to give the Knicks a little bit of fits. Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I have no like. I'd have to think about it more. Next week, next week the shit doesn't start.
Next week will be starting. Yeah, you gotta give me somebody.
Picking the. Sorry, I'm looking at the screen. Luke Cornett has 10 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 blocks. But anyway, insane. But anyway, picking the Pacers to make the finals to me is just gives me the ick.
Crazy, right?
Like that's so nasty. But I'm like, I can't sit here and be a Miami Heat fan, a team that's been one of the nastiest franchises to watch in the last 5 years. Like, it's not a secret. Nobody likes watching us play. If it works, bro, it works. It don't matter how it works. If it works,
it sounds like you're picking the
trust the process, bro. Because like, if the games are close, bro, the Knicks got it. To me, I feel like if the games are close, Brunson going to do that.
So you're saying Pacers in a blowout?
Damn, bro. Like, if I pick the Knicks, it's Knicks in 7. And if I pick the Pacers, it's got to be Pacers in 6. I don't think. Didn't they go 7 last year?
Yeah, they went 7 last year, and how you cooked them.
Went crazy in Game 7. Yeah. Oh man, no, that's tough.
So I'm saying,
I think people would look at it and be like, Knicks. Like, people would be Knicks off bat, but honestly, bro, like the Pacers do offer a lot of issues. They just throw so much at you, and they legit
Pacers, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like my basketball knowledge tells me Pacers because I'm like, bro, they run a 10 deep rotation every game. But damn. I'm gonna go Knicks in 7, bro. I'm gonna go Knicks in 7.
Okay. Yeah, I
like the Knicks. I like the Knicks revenge story. Them being fully healthy, if they're fully healthy. Disclaimer: if anybody on the Knicks gets hurt, it's over. It don't matter who it is. It could be Mikhail. It could be OG. It could be Cat. It could be Brunson. It could be Josh Hart, bro.
Yeah.
Anybody, it's over because then they got to start Deuce McBride if Josh Hart is there, and that's GG's.
Me personally, I think whoever comes out of the West is winning the title. That's what I think.
Whoever wins this Nuggets OKC series is winning the title to me.
That's what I think. And
speaking of Nuggets OKC,
yeah, I was about to say. Wait, but I want to do just because a lot of people are talking about Tyrese Haliburton. I want to do a would you rather for Hallie. So you know how this works. I'm not building a team around. This is just player for player. Who is the better player? Tyrese Haliburton or Paolo Banchero?
Paolo. I say Paolo.
Okay.
Like player for player, Paolo.
Player for player, yeah. Tyrese Haliburton or Jalen Brown?
Jalen Brown. It's a Finals MVP, bro. Finals MVP.
Okay.
He's
Tyrese Haliburton.
He's almost star. He giving you 20 a game.
It's Tyrese Haliburton or Jimmy Butler?
Tyrese.
Tyrese Haliburton or De'Aaron Fox?
Ooh, that's a close one. That's tough. Player for player. See, this is the issue with comparing point guards, because what do you value, right?
This is the king's dilemma.
Yeah, right? Like, do you value a scoring guard that shooting is not the best? He's not always as efficient as you like him to be, but he is like the leader of the team, and he is like, he's a little ball dominant, but for the most part, he's a positive player. Or do you take the guy who's not always aggressive, but always keeps his teammates involved? It was like the Steph Curry, Chris Paul argument when Steph Curry started getting better, and people were like, well, Chris Paul is still the best point guard in the league. And it's like, okay, well, we'd rather have a guy that averages 18 and 12 or 20 and 12, or a guy that's averaging 25 and shooting the lights out. Listen, Haliburton has results. Like, De'Aaron Fox has it. Yeah, like, and the other two guys you named, I can't really put them over Haliburton because they've done what he's done more than he's done, except for Paolo. I just think Paolo, off pure talent, is just a better basketball player. He's 6'10", does insane things at that size.
Mm-hmm. So you're taking Trae Young. I mean, so you're taking Tyrese Haliburton.
Yeah, over De'Aaron Fox. Yeah, that was a tough one though. That was tough.
Yeah, I also agree. Tyrese Haliburton or Trae Young.
Tyrese Haliburton. They essentially do the same things. I think Trae is a lot flashier, and you could say he's a bit more talented, but like the way he plays has not been conducive with winning his entire career. They went to the conference finals one time, haven't even sniffed the second round since. So, and it was during the season after the bubble, which people kind of look at as like it
was the Ben Simmons pass out game, wasn't it? It was the Ben Simmons pass out of the layup.
Pass out of the layup game. But for me, like that 2021 season, what did they take? A 60-day break between the bubble and the next season? Like the bubble was done in October. The season started in December. Insane, bro. Insane. Just to think about. But like, all the teams that were in the bubble were cooked. Everybody's knees were cooked. Lakers didn't make it. Heat didn't make it. The Celtics didn't make it. Who was it?
It was like a 2-month off season. It was crazy.
Yeah, bro, it was wild. And then you got like the Suns came out of nowhere, the Hawks come out of nowhere, the Bucks come not out of nowhere, but the Bucks prevailed to be NBA champions, which I think it was legit because the Suns were a legit great team, like a very, very solid team. That Suns team is really good, and Giannis was playing insane.
Yeah, they went undefeated in the bubble, and they came in and went to the finals.
Yeah, and then they got Chris Paul and went nuts.
Yeah. And then Tyrese Haliburton or John Morant.
Ooh. Funny thing about Ja is I think Ja is a playoff riser just like Tyrese is, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
But the Grizzlies haven't done a great job of really, I don't know, like emphasizing what he's best at. So it's kind of put him in a tough spot. Off pure talent, I would give it to Ja. So I think Ja is a better scorer. Obviously, he's the better athlete. And playmaking, I don't think it's a crazy gap. Like Tyrese is clearly better, but Ja is not a bad playmaker. And they're both terrible defenders, if we're being honest.
Two more for you. Tyrese Haliburton or Devin Booker.
Booker. Because we just had this conversation. I think he's like a tier under the Booker Mitchell type guys.
And then lastly, Tyrese Haliburton or Cade Cunningham.
Cade. Second Cade.
Boom.
Cade averaged 25 on a Pistons team that, is young and up and coming. And if this sounds inconsistent, hey, it is what it is. But I think like it's a case by case thing. Like with Jaylen Brown, like I'm not gonna say Tyrese better than Jaylen Brown just because he's like the quote unquote best player on his team and they made the conference finals. He is one of the most difficult players to evaluate. So I get why you did this little segment, because it's hard to evaluate a guy that plays like a traditional point guard. A lot of point guards don't play like that anymore. And, when they win, when the Pacers win, he is the guy that everybody's like, whoa, Tyrese. Then you look at his numbers and you're like,
yeah.
Like, sometimes he's not even averaging 20.
Yeah. And so, we can move on to OKC Denver. Obviously, Oklahoma City Thunder take a 3-2 series lead. They can end the series tomorrow night, I want to say, Thursday night. So this is coming out on Friday. So by the time you hear this, the OKC Thunder might be in the Western Conference Finals. But right now, they're not.
I think it's going 7.
I also think it goes 7. I think they end it in OKC. What do you think about the series so far, bro?
I've been up and down about it. Game 1 was fire. Game 2 was a blowout. Game 3 was fire. Game 4 was nasty, but solid. Yeah. Game 5, hood classic. Yeah. Game 5 was an absolute hood classic, bro. I missed it, so I had to watch the highlights and kind of catch clips here and there. But all in all, like, so going into game 3, game 4, I had an issue with people making excuses for Shea and making excuses for Jokic. Like we prop guys up as these are the 2 best players in the league this season, at least, probably for the last two seasons. They are the top 2 MVP candidates. And if you don't think Jokic is the best player in the league, the only other answer people are really giving is Shea or Giannis. That's it. Yeah. And for people to be like, oh, well, Shea's struggling because they're sending 2 people at him. It's the playoffs. What do you mean?
Yeah.
I remember we were talking about like 2000 basketball, how nasty it looked. And I said, like, specifically, Kobe used to take a dribble inside the arc and there's 3 people waiting on him. Not to mention the elite defender he just blew by. And then for Jokic, like, I'm thinking about like the Tim Duncans of the world, like the all-time great bigs, Tim Duncan, Shaq, like, I don't know, David Robinson, like Patrick Ewing. All these guys went up against elite bigs. And you're telling me Nikola Jokic is having issues because Isaiah Hartenstein, no disrespect, Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren giving him issues and Christian Brown is giving Shea issues. Like, this comes with the territory. If you don't perform well, it doesn't matter who's guarding you. It doesn't matter who you're playing. Like, when you get into the tier of this is one of the best players in the league, you just got to get the job done. And I'm glad that they came out last night. Jokic had 44, 42 last night. Shea had 31. And they were going band for band. I'm like, this is what we need. If y'all are if y'all want to be the best players in the NBA, if y'all want to build y'all path to being legends in the league, I think Jokic obviously already is, but more for Shea, like, this is what everybody has to go through. Jordan went through it. Kobe went through it. Braun went through it. KD, Steph, everybody goes through this stage where it's like, okay, you got your MVP. Now what? You gotta get your chip. Or like in the games where your team needs you, and like this happens with Tatum a lot. You're playing like ass, and then Aaron Gordon steps up and scores 25, or Lou Dort randomly hits like 5-6 threes in a game. It's unfair, but it just comes with the territory. It's a part of basketball culture. Honestly, it's a part of sports culture. Like, once you start getting those individual accolades, the team accolades come into play, and then people start focusing more on your games, like game by game. Okay, he was ass last game. How's he going to be this game? Okay, he was good last game. Can he follow it up? And then once people start recognizing you as a playoff performer, then you're good. But like Jokic, for example, the last 2 years, Jokic has been up and down. Like, he struggled heavily against the Timberwolves last season. They threw size at him, and he got exhausted, gassed. He was standing at the three-point line, just settling for threes. And I started to see more of that in game 3. He was like 0 for 11 from 3 because he's like, man, I'm tired. I'm gonna just stand out here and shoot threes. But like, bro, you gotta get your bucket, bro. You the best player in basketball. But all in all, I think the end of this series is going to be fantastic. Like I think tomorrow is going to be a great game. I might stay up and watch it and just be tired to go to work.
Yeah.
I'm praying for 7 games because I'm just selfish like that. I love the game, but I think Aaron Gordon's been phenomenal all series. Even when the games are nasty, he gets it out the mud. Jamal Murray's been up and down, but he's been decent for the most part. J-Dub has been.
That's what I said last night when he hit that 3. I was like, finally, brother. Finally.
Last night it felt like the Thunder finally figured it out.
Yeah.
Like you just talked about like how when young teams lose, everybody would be like, blow it up, blow it up. The talks behind like the Thunder losing is, oh, they got to go get Giannis. They got to go. For the Thunder specifically, no. Like you have, 4 guys in the core, or maybe I'll say 3 guys that are the core of your team that are 26 and younger. You can't blow that up. You're going to trade J-Dub and Chet for Giannis. And now if Shea and Giannis have a bad game, now you looking at Isaiah Joe on the bench to come give you some relief buckets? Like, no, that's not how that's going to work.
Yeah. I think the Shea, I don't think Shea was having a great game until the fourth quarter, and then he just kind of like took the game over. And I think like that's kind of what we see when players are the best player. Like if you want to be the best player in the league, I need that from you. Like and
sometimes that's all it takes, bro. You can have 3 shitty quarters, bro, and then the fourth quarter when it's game time, crunch time, you just
take the game over.
Kobe had a bunch of games like that. Jordan had a bunch of games like that. Everybody can't be like efficient all game like a Steph, KD, LeBron. Like we just live in the era of efficiency. It's the playoffs, big dog. Like you're not gonna be shooting 55% from the field.
You're not gonna get to the spots that you like to get to every time. You're not gonna you're not gonna get the looks you like to see every time. These people. There are people whose entire job is to watch every possession you had this season and tell the players, do not let him get to this spot. He does not like to shoot from this spot. They are funneling you to the places you like. You are the most uncomfortable, and so like. For Shea to take over a game in the fourth quarter, the biggest game of the series so far, 2-2. This team is 1 win away from you win this game. You're 1 win away from going to the Western Conference Finals. He gets to the fourth quarter, that and 1 over Jamal Murray. I was like, tough. That's when I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And then he hits the 3 on the fast break to really like win them the game. After Dub hit the 3 to like put them up 3, I was like, all right, cool. I just think the Thunder are a better team. They're just a better team. Like we talk about this, like Jokic is easily the best player in the world, best player in the series. Great. In the fourth quarter,
that turnaround 3 he hit
gave me PTSD. God, that's the kind of shit he was doing to the Lakers every single possession.
He did a 4. It wasn't even like it's usually like a 180. Like he's got to go pick up the ball and he got to launch it.
Bro, he keeps his pivot
360, like a whole spin and just. Ooh, I'm like, bro, awful. And it's always on one leg. Like, over Chet. Yeah. That is so tough.
But at the end of the day, bro, in the fourth quarter, non-Jokic players on the Nuggets missed 13 straight shots. They went 1 for 15 overall in the quarter. The Nuggets scored 19 in the fourth. Jokic scored 13 of them on 4 of 6 shooting. Shea alone outscored the entire Nuggets team outside of Jokic in the fourth quarter. Like it was Jokic, it was 1v5, and that just is what it is in the fourth quarter. And so yeah, I think ultimately, I think the Thunder are my team that I choose to win the chip. I think Shea wins MVP, the Thunder win the chip, Shea wins Finals MVP. He gets the trifecta, triple crown, whatever you want to call it. I think that that's what ends up happening because.
Stuff like that, that's what cements you.
Yeah.
It happened with LeBron. LeBron goes to Miami. They lose the first year. They get slander. They come back 2012. LeBron wins MVP, Finals MVP, gets his ring. Boom. Now you can't say anything but, all right, go win another one. Shit, they never figured out how to do it.
Go be a dynasty. And so, yeah, I think that's our thoughts on OKC Denver. Diving into the draft lottery. Draft lottery is pretty insane. I'm not gonna lie. I watched it. I wasn't watching it live until I saw the notifications that were like, the Mavs have come into the top 4. And I was like, no fucking way.
That was pretty early in. Like they were like, it was like pick 8, and they like, oh wait, we made a mistake. The Mavs are in the top 4. I'm sitting over here like cooking dinner. I'm like, wait a minute. So then when I saw like Wizards, Jazz, like 6-5-4, I'm like, oh nah. They did the Jazz. Bro, there are teams that won less than 20 games that have been waiting for that day for the longest time. And you're telling me they couldn't even get a top 5 pick?
Bro,
the Jazz were
I can imagine being a Jazz fan.
Bro, the Jazz were starting Bryce Sensabaugh and Isaiah Collier in basketball games. And they got like what, the 5th pick? The Wizards were playing Bob Carrington.
They're 5 and 6.
And Bilal Coulibaly sitting Jordan Poole. They had Jordan Poole sitting for rest. And they couldn't get, and the team that almost made the playoffs without Kyrie Irving got the number 1 pick. Yeah,
they were in the
it's time to start a dialogue.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, bro. They almost made the playoffs. They were the 10th seed.
Oh, do you think they should chalk the lottery? You think they should chalk the lottery?
Nah, but I think they got to change something, bro. But I'll be fair. I think there is a little bit of semantics behind it. Like, do I want to watch Cooper Flagg play for the Jazz? Hell no. No, absolutely. If he went to the Wizards, I think that'd be cool because I think
trade Luka.
Trade Luka and we give you Coop.
Save the league and we'll give you Coop.
Yeah, nah, that was
NBA
ratings
was in the shitter. Luka went to the Lakers.
Yeah, I do think there's like we don't want him to go there. But I mean, Zion went to the Pelicans, bro.
Yeah.
So like, they had a 1.8% chance to get the first pick, and we've never seen an 11 spot get the first pick. So maybe that was the 1%. This may never happen again. But it was fun. It was the irony of it. Yeah, they did a coin flip with the Bulls to even get to the 11th highest odds. So to be lucky in a coin flip, which is just 50-50, and for you to have 1% odds to get the number 1 pick, which people are like, trade it. No, don't trade it. Don't go trade for Giannis. Please don't do that. Go trade away one. Because I don't think they should, bro. Because think about it. Here's my thinking, bro. Like, you draft Cooper Flagg. There is no guarantee. I keep saying that. Kyrie's coming off an ACL injury, and you cannot expect him to be Kyrie Irving that we know and love. The guy has been dealing with injuries essentially his entire career. He's had a few knee injuries like 2 of the past 3 years. Anthony Davis, as much as he's played more games and more recently, like, let's be real. We know eventually he's not playing 70 games. He's just not. Mm-hmm. So for you to go trade for Giannis now, Giannis might be looking around in January, February, March, like, yo, where's AD? Yo, where's Kyrie? Like, I'm sitting over here passing the ball to Caleb Martin, Jaden Hardy, and I'm over here running pick and rolls with no disrespect.
Max Christie.
I'm the point guard. I'm the one throwing lobs to Derek Lively.
Yeah.
And you know, if they need, like, their team was built off of depth, and for them to trade that depth, I just don't think it'd be smart. I feel like, see what you have, like, with this core. Cooper Flagg coming into year 1 may not be ready to be the number 1 option. That's cool. But hey, what's wrong with having 3 number 2 options? Kyrie really like a beta. AD was an alpha for a little bit, but he's never won a championship as an alpha. So he's kind of a beta too. And, you know, as a rookie, you're never expected to be the leader coming straight out, especially when you have a team of 2 all-star guys, 2 NBA champions. Like, just see how it goes, bro. Like, jumping to be so desperate to get Giannis to get body clapped by the OKC Thunder in round 2 is crazy to me. Like, it doesn't matter. The West is so tough. You run into Jokic, you run into Shea. Shit, you run into Luka, Braun. If the Lakers get their shit together, like, it's not like they play in the East. If they played in the East, bet. Go do your thing. The West is tricky, man. You can't just give up your assets, especially when you don't have a lot. Granted, they got something for Luka, but you didn't get draft capital. So you'd have to trade Anthony Davis if you feel like I don't see how it would work Giannis, AD, Kyrie, anything. So like if you go get Giannis, you might have to trade AD or Kyrie anyway.
I saw someone tweet like, "Oh, the basketball gods aren't real since the Mavs got the number one pick." And I also felt like I had tweeted out like, "Yo, if the Mavs get the one pick, the basketball gods aren't real." Because like, and I started to think about it like, if the goal of the basketball gods is to punish Nico Harrison, then yeah, they're not real. But if the goal of the basketball gods is to revitalize a Mavericks fan base who I truly believe went through one of the most devastating things of any fan base in sports history, to really lose your franchise player at the peak of his powers in the middle of the night and then have everything in your season go wrong. Like, I'm happy for the Mavs fans. I don't like that it worked out for Nico Harrison. I don't. But I'm happy for the Mavs fans that they now get this chance to build around. They have another guy that they can hitch their wagon to. I do think now Luka and Cooper Flagg's careers will forever be entangled, which I don't think is fair to either one of them, because Luka didn't want to leave and Cooper Flagg didn't ask to be drafted to the Mavs. But I do think just in the way that we think about this trade for 20, 30 years from now, people will always compare Luka and Cooper Flagg and what that ends up being. I've heard people say, "Oh, the Mavs won the trade because they got Cooper Flagg and they traded Luka, and that made them bad enough to get Cooper Flagg." No, they did not win the trade.
What people don't understand is like
Cooper Flagg could still not be as good as Luka. I'm sorry.
But even that's not even the reason why they didn't win the trade. The principle of what they did is just so wrong in so many ways. You do not ever trade your franchise player in the middle of his prime. Could you ever see the Celtics trading Jayson Tatum right now, regardless of Achilles or anything?
After the Achilles, they still not moving.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I still don't think they would. Like, I can't see
the Wolves would never
the Bucks
trade.
And Giannis is a little different.
The Wolves would never trade.
Never trade. He would have to leave.
Yeah,
like on his own accord. They would never be like, here, take Ant. Stupid.
The Thunder not trading Shea.
They're not trading Shea. No, exactly. The Nuggets are not trading Jokic.
No,
he would have to be like, and honestly, no. Exactly. And honestly, if Giannis didn't come out and be like, "Hey, I'm exploring other options," the Bucks are not going to stand up and be like, "We're trading Giannis." No, they're not. It's just stupid, bro. It's dumb. Yeah. Like we survived the era of like everybody asking out and looking for greener pastures everywhere else. Like LeBron be like, "Hey." LeBron's never really asked for a trade. He's kind of been like, "Hey, I'm gonna play my years here, and then I might be out. I might not."
We'll see. 1-year deals,
yeah, the 1-year deal with the player option. We know how that goes. KD, on the other hand, is probably KD and James Harden are probably the two guys that'll be like, "Hey, look, it's looking a little shaky here. I might want to get out of here. Can you just let me go a year early, see how it's looking over there before I decide where I really want to be?" But like other than that, who's really moving like team to team? The Warriors. As old as Steph Curry is, they are never trading Steph Curry.
Never. It means something to him to be a Warriors lifer. I do think what you said about like the Mavs exploring. In my head, I do think it makes sense for the Mavs to explore the Giannis thing. I don't think they're going to trade it, but I do think that it makes a little bit of sense for both teams. If Giannis was ever to. If the Bucks were ever to consider trading Giannis, I don't know that they're going to come across
that would be the way
better
to
than Cooper Flagg, right? Yeah. And so if I'm the Mavs, if you really want to go for it, if you really want to say our stars are 31 and 33, we've got to go for it now. Giannis is 31. He's a top 3 player on the planet. He would give
has been for a while.
I don't know what a Giannis AD offense looks like. I truly don't. I don't know if it would even work. But I do think I do think they could explore it. I don't think it's the right move. I think the right move is to get Cooper Flagg and like fully healthy. Their team is loaded. It's Kyrie, Clay, Cooper Flagg, AD, Derek Lively, off the bench, PJ Washington, Max Christie, Daniel Gafford, Jaden Hardy. They may or may not bring back Spencer Dinwiddie. Like
I don't think they should.
Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin. Like, they have a loaded team. Like,
but a lot of those guys would go if they went to go get Giannis, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
like, I think
another question I have for you is, like, say they did trade for Giannis, right? Giannis is 30, like kind of closer to 31. How much longer do you think Giannis will play at this level for them to be like if we trade for Giannis, like, that opens up a new window for us where even if it didn't work with AD and Kyrie, like, we could go get some other guys and be like, yeah, like, we can team these guys up with Giannis because he's Giannis. Like, do you think he has like a LeBron type shelf life, like where he can be the best player on the team for the next 5-6 years till he's 37?
I guess if I'm trying to contend and I look at Giannis and I say he's 31, I would say as the GM, these next 3 years of Giannis give me a better chance to win than what Cooper Flagg might ever be. Like, Giannis is 7 consecutive All-NBA first teams. He is right now probably a top 15 player of all time. Like, Cooper Flagg might never be that. And so, like, we look at, like, Zion. Zion was supposed to be this, like, great. We look at Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis was supposed to be this incredible, amazing, this incredible prospect. And he's a one-time NBA but, like, what did that end up being? He's a one-time NBA
champion, one of the greatest defensive players of his era.
But who was never the best player on a championship team, never won an MVP, never won a DPOY. I'm not saying Anthony Davis didn't have an incredible career. He's a top 75 player ever. But, like, Giannis is already better than what AD was supposed to be. Like, Cooper Flagg could play his entire career and never be Giannis. And so, like, I do think you have to look at, like, if Giannis plays at this level until 35, you probably have a better player than Cooper Flagg might ever be. And that might not be true. Cooper Flagg could be Jayson Tatum and have this incredible career so far. But, like, even that, it's like, I don't know.
That's a long shot.
That's a long like shot. Giannis he's very rare air. Like, it's not like we're talking about trading for AD. It's not like we're talking about trading for Kyrie. Like, we're talking about trading for Giannis. Like, I think Giannis is getting a little bit discounted when we talk about these things. Like, we haven't seen many Giannis's.
Well, I don't think he's getting discounted. I'm just saying, how long do you think he could play at this level? But here, another thing, and we can wrap it up and move on to whatever else we got left. Number 1 picks, or I'll say, like, top 3 picks. Every number 1 pick is not made the same. And I'm not talking about, like, and this just alludes to what you said. I'm not talking about the bus like Anthony Bennett and what's his name? Fucking Kwame Brown.
Markelle Fultz.
And Markelle Fultz, Michael Olowokandi. Like, all of these names that we know are busts. So, like, the generational ones. LeBron, Hakeem, Tim Duncan. Throw me one if I'm forgetting somebody.
Wemby.
I'm talking about top tier. Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, Shaq.
Yeah.
Magic.
I'm trying to think of anything else. Yeah, Magic.
Like, Jordan didn't even go number 1 in his draft.
Yeah.
Right? But I guess, like, I said top 3, so Jordan would be in that conversation.
Maybe? But still, he got a little bit. Yeah.
Like, everybody's not gonna be. Yo, this dude is one of the greatest. Oh, KD.
Yeah.
Steph wasn't a top 5 pick. Like, Giannis wasn't a top 15. He might have been like the end of the lottery, back end of the lottery. And you look at the guys, like, you're like, oh my God, this guy's going number 1 in the draft. He has to be good. He has to lead our franchise, put us on his back. And, like, Zion didn't do it. Ja's having trouble doing it. Ben Simmons didn't do it. Cat didn't do it. D'Angelo Russell didn't do it. Like, Jaylen Brown is just behind another guy that's kind of doing it. Like, Tatum's doing it, but, like, not in the same fashion.
Brandon Ingram ain't do it.
Brandon Ingram didn't do it. Yeah. Joel Embiid ain't doing it. Andrew Wiggins didn't do it. Like, there's so many different tiers of guys that we're like, yo, he's got it. Who's the other one? Like DeMarcus Cousins, John Wall. Like, there's so many guys that come into the league and we're like, that's the next great one. Derrick Rose. Like, you never know what's gonna happen. And I mean, you're right. I agree with you. I think like Giannis could be better than anything you could ever get. I was just saying, like, from a risk standpoint, like, if you're gonna trade from Giannis, now that puts you in a deeper hole of like, if we trade for Giannis, the AD Giannis thing might not work out. Then we got to trade AD, who we just traded for, who really wants AD. Like, it's a slippery slope.
No,
I would say like being risk averse. I would say like keep Cooper Flagg and then maybe see what you could get for like Kyrie. I'd keep AD. I would try to like see what I can get for Kyrie.
Yeah, I'd probably if I'm Nico Harrison, I draft Cooper Flagg and let it play out. And whatever it is, it is.
Yeah.
And like if this, because it gives you two,
city's up too.
The city's up. You maybe get the fan base back. It gives you a chance at two different eras. Like at the end of the day, there is hope after the Kyrie AD eventually fizzles out. The only other thing I wanted to talk about here was the number 2 pick. The Spurs get the number 2 pick. I think a lot of people are talking about Dylan Harper, draft Dylan Harper, or trade for Giannis. If I'm the Spurs,
was that the Spurs?
Yeah, I've seen Spurs fans say like, "Oh, we're gonna keep number 2 we're gonna give them 14 for Giannis because they have 2 and 14." It's like, hey, that's not happening. If I'm the Bucks, the conversation starts at 2, and it's something that would need to be beneficial for both sides because I don't think the Bucks need to trade Giannis. Like, I don't think it's like he's not going to strong arm his way out. It's not like a Jimmy Butler or Anthony Davis situation. He's their franchise GOAT. Like that means he's not going to be like, fuck Milwaukee, I'm out of here. He's under contract for 2 more years. He has to play. Like
he's not going to make a scene about it, but I do think he has always said that he wants to have the best chance of winning a championship. So that's something like I think winning is very important to him. And he's also said like if he never won another championship, he don't know like how he'd sleep at night. And I think he's dead ass serious.
I think putting him next to Wemby would be great. Wemby, Giannis,
that's fun as hell, bro. Yeah, because they probably have to give up. They probably have to give up 2 and Castle.
They probably give up 2. I don't even think they'd have to give up Castle. I don't think they got to come off Castle.
For Giannis, you got to give up Castle.
I think they give up 2 and then like a bunch of picks. I think they give up like 2 Vassell, Keldon Johnson, and then a bunch of picks to make the salaries work. I think they get it. I think they're able to keep Castle.
I'm the Bucks. I'm like 2 Castle and like a pick swap in 20, 30, and 31.
Yeah.
And we hanging up
if you're the Bucks, you get Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle. That's your backcourt. You got your backcourt for the next 10 years, and you figure the rest out. But
or you could take Ace Bailey if you feel like Dylan Harper is not like if you want to wing, just take Ace Bailey.
I've seen the Ace Bailey comp because the Sixers could take Ace Bailey. They're 3. You get Tyrese, Jared McCain, Ace Bailey. That's a nice little trio, and then figure it out. But yeah, that's our NBA talk. We want to dive over to NFL really quick and just
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Look through the schedule. If I'm being honest with you, I'm gonna run through the Seahawks schedule right now. Seahawks schedule prediction. The schedule dropped an hour ago. I'm telling you right now. Week 1, 49ers. That's a win. 1-0. Week 2, Steelers. That's a win. Putting belt to ass on Aaron Rodgers. That's a 2-0. You think I'm scared of the Cardinals? Think I'm scared of Kyler Murray? 3-0. Buccaneers week 4, 4-0. Jags week 5, who BTJ and Travis Hunter put fear in my heart. What is that? 6-0. CJ Stroud Monday Night Football week 7. I'll say we lose that. So I think we go 6-1. By week 8, we come out week 9. Commanders 6-2. That's a loss. Cardinals, I say we split NFC West. It happens like that. 6-3. Rams. Week 11, 7-3. Titans, week 12, we giving Cam Ward hell, 8-3. Vikings, week 13, 8-4. Falcons, week 14, 9-4. Colts, week 15, 10-4. Rams, week 16, 11-4. Panthers, week 17, 12-4. Niners, last week of the season, we lose 12-5. My official Seattle Seahawks prediction, boom. Come on. We won 10 games last year. I'm thinking we get 2 more. I'm thinking we win the NFC West.
That's logical, but that's just not how football works. You know that. But hey, the offseason is the best time to talk about it. So let me get into mine. Pretty tough schedule. Not going to lie. Week 1, off the bat, we got some dogs. The Lions coming into Lambeau. That's a tough one, but I'm gonna say we win that one. You know, we haven't beaten the Lions in Lambeau, and like the Lions have been the best team in the NFC for the last probably better half of the last 2 years. Them and the Eagles really been battling out for who's the best team in the NFC. But divisional games are weird. You never know what happens early in the season. September football is really like the preseason. We might pull some bullshit out our ass. You never know. So I'm gonna give the Packers that one. Week 2 on a short week versus the Commanders. Not gonna lie, that might be an L. It might be an L. It's in Lambeau, but listen, brother. Jaden Daniels is a different demon. I don't know. I ain't never seen. We got to play Jaden Daniels, and then we got to play Lamar. So maybe Jaden Daniels will prepare us for Lamar. We'll see. Going to week 3, we got the Cleveland Browns, the Cleveland Shitters. So we're going to win that game. Then we got the Cowboys in AT&T Stadium. Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, Packers in 5. It's in Dallas. We got that one. So what's that? 2-2? 2-2, yes.
Wait,
Bengals weeks.
Who you play week 4?
Cowboys in Dallas.
Oh, okay. Do y'all play the Steelers this year?
We do.
Ooh, okay.
Bengals at Lambeau. I'm gonna say we win that. Cardinals, we blew their bum ass out last year. We're gonna blow them out again in Arizona. So that's 4-2. Steelers in Pittsburgh. Sunday night football. That's tough. That might be one of them nasty games. I know how my team is. So 6-3.
Rodgers revenge game?
If he's even on the team. Panthers week 9 in Lambeau. I'm gonna say we win that. Probably the toughest game of the season, week 10. In Lambeau. The world champs coming to Lambeau. I say we lose that, but I think we do play them tough like we always. You know what? Fuck that, bro. We beating the Eagles. We don't play them tough for the last 2 years. And I think we could squeeze one out in Lambeau, bro, on Monday Night Football. I'm not saying we better than the Eagles, but I think we could squeeze out a dub versus the Eagles. They got a little bit of championship hangover. They don't take us seriously. It's cold. Week 11, Giants, that's a dub. Vikings, the first game against the Vikings in Lambeau. I say we win that one and probably split the other one. Week 13, Lions, we lose that one. Week 14 against the Bears, I say we split with the Bears, so I'll give them that one. Week 15 versus the Broncos. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a trap game. It's in Denver, too. Niggas can't breathe in Denver. I'm going to give it to Denver. Week 16 in Chicago, I say we win that one. Week 17, Baltimore in Lambeau Field. That could go either way. Lamar's a demon, but sometimes the Ravens are frauds. Last time we played the Ravens, we beat them. So I'm going to say we beat them again. And then the Vikings, last week of the season, per usual. So I don't know. I wasn't keeping up with what I was saying, but I think that's a record of like 11-5, 10-6, 11-5, 12-4, somewhere around there.
Boom.
But
those are,
don't be surprised if we come out and win the fucking division.
Okay.
The Lions are not as good as they were last year. The niggas is on the Bears like they done won, like they done did something. You got a coach. Congratulations.
Hot take. I think you're the third best team in the division.
Yeah, because you're
I'm not even a Caleb Williams fan. I just think that
you're not.
I think the Bears
think
are
Ben
better.
Johnson's a demon. Yeah. How are they better? Yeah. How are they better?
I think they have I won't say better quarterback because that's crazy because Justin Fields should be their quarterback. I think that they just have a better overall team, maybe. Like I'm eating the stew. I'm drinking the syrup, whatever the phrase is. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. That's what it is.
You sniffing the shit. You sniffing the shit. That's what you're doing.
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. That's what it is. I think the Lions are the best team in the division. That's the NFC North, that's right? Fair. I think the Lions are the best team. I think the Bears are the second best team. I think the Packers are the third best team. I think the Vikings are number 4. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong before.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, we both been wrong. But one thing we're not wrong about: this is the best division in football, and I told you that last year, and you were like, "I don't know." It's either them or the AFC North. It's one or the other, and I think the AFC West
AFC North has the Browns, so they're done.
Yeah, well, the Vikings. The Vikings are ass. So
hey, they won. They won what? 14 games, some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, frauds. The AFC West is interesting because I think the Chiefs are the Chiefs, but like the Chargers are up and coming, the Broncos are up and coming. the Raiders are kind of like trying to compete in like Midtown, just a bunch of mid, but they'll be competitive. I don't know. We'll see. It's between one of those three. Yeah, I would give it to the NFC.
No love. That's crazy. Rams, Niners, Seahawks, we all good. The Cardinals are, but we got 3 good teams.
The Rams are good. Y'all are all right. 49ers are all right. Like,
oh my God. We gonna shock
y'all
the
didn't
world.
make the playoffs.
We gonna shock the world. Oh my God, we gonna be good.
The same with you every year, bro. You be like,
we gonna shock the world.
We got a new quarterback. We gotta do this. We gotta do that. We got Cooper Cup. We got Cooper Cup and JSN. 2 slot receivers. They're gonna be high fiving each other on drag routes.
We gonna shock the world. I'm telling you, Clint Kubiak, Sam Darnold.
I don't think y'all win the division. I'm gonna be honest. I think y'all make a wild card spot though. I think the Rams are the best team in the division.
You think the Rams? Okay.
Yeah, I think the Rams.
I think I said McVay's the best coach in the league. So yeah, I respect that.
Did.
Okay, cool. Well, clearly we don't respect each
other's
teams.
You feel about the Packers. I feel about the Seahawks. So fuck you.
We don't respect each other's teams. But yeah, that'll end it. Next week we'll do more NFL talk once we have more, like, the schedule will be out. We'll have more of a good grasp on the exciting games. But that's our first initial reactions. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Make sure you subscribe to Run It Up Podcast on YouTube. Leave us some comments. Follow us on TikTok at the Run It Up Podcast. Tell all your friends and family about it. Leave a 5-star rating and review on the pod. You can follow us on Twitter at Run It Up Pod. Find me on Twitter at Najee _Jalaal JSandy45. And that's it. Yeah. Hope you guys have a litty day, a litty night, a litty life. And just like we do in every episode of this podcast, make sure y'all go run it up.